Today we are going to be making another math foldable in our interactive math notebook. In order to do this activity, you're going to need one of these pieces of paper. It can be found on our front whiteboard next to the interactive notebook sign, as well as that block of wood that is on the whiteboard. You're going to need one of these. You need to have out your math notebook, not your reading notebook, but your math notebook. You will need that. You'll need a pair of scissors to use. You will need a glue stick. You will need markers, any color you choose, and you will need either a pencil or a pen, something to write with. Please pause the video right now and go get your supplies. All right, now that you have your supplies, I want you to open up your math notebooks. What I want you to do is you guys have all those tags along the top or along the side, and I want all of those to be either cut off or I want them to be taken off. Gently tear them off or get them off in some way. We're going to be using our whole notebook and just kind of in order from the beginning to the end rather than have it split up into different sections. So go ahead and pause the video again while you do that. All right, now that you have done that, what you're going to do is you're going to start creating your page. So we need to have the date along the top of it. So right here, I'm going to put that I'm going to put date, and that's all I'm going to put on the top of it. But you're actually going to put the date. The reason I'm doing that is because I don't know exactly what date you're going to be doing this on. It might be Wednesday, November 9th. It might be a different date. So you're going to put the date. You don't really need your name on it because this is your notebook. But we do want it to say exploring place value right along the top. Okay. And then we have out this paper right here. It tells us to fold on the solid line and cut on the dashed lines. Then we're going to glue around this side of the foldable and attach to your interactive notebook or INB. So we want to do fold on the solid lines first. So we have this solid line right here that goes across the page. The reason we're going to fold on that one first is because it is easier. It's a little difficult to fold one-handed, but it's easier to fold it all in one piece and then cut the other parts off. Cut up here rather than cut and have to fold each piece separately. So now that it's folded, I'm going to cut so that each of these numbers, I'm going to have to put the camera down for a moment, aim it like that. So I'm going to cut on each of these sections so that they'll make little windows and I'll be able to fold them. And then I'm going to use my glue, and I'm going to put glue on the back of my paper where those instructions are, where the words are. Not a ton of glue, but enough. And then I'm going to put mine in sideways so that it fits. Because if I put it in the other direction, the paper is too long and it's not going to fit for me. So I'm going to put it like this. All right. So now that I have my paper in, it looks just like this. And I'm going to turn my notebook to the side. Okay. If you're not caught up to me right now, then you need to pause the video and get caught up, and then you can push play and we'll continue from there. So what we want to do when you're at this point is we want to open up each of these individual windows. And I'm going to create a line in between them just so that when I'm writing, I don't go over too far. I can kind of stay in my own little areas. Okay, so I'm working on just this number, 6,578. Okay, and I'm going to put this sentence on each of these different boxes. So this sentence is the blank in blank is 10 times larger than the number blank. Okay. So I'm going to put that on each of these. The blank in blank is 10 times larger than the number blank. Okay, so you're going to be putting that in there on each of these. And then I'm going to do this first one with you. So I'm going to look at each of these numbers, and I'm going to say the 5. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to do. I'm going to label this A. This one is going to be B, C, and D. And that way when I'm putting my number right here, the blank in this number, I can just call it A or B or C or D instead of the whole number. So I'm going to put the 5 in A is 10 times larger than the 5 in the number, whichever one of these it is. So I know that 500 is 10 times larger than 50. And that's where my other 5 is. So I'm going to focus on this. We're going to all focus on the number 5. The 5 in blank is 10 times larger than the 5 in the number that's B. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Then the next one would say the 5 in blank and is 10 times larger than the 5 in blank. The 5 in blank is 10 times larger than the 5 in blank. The 5 in blank is 10 times larger than the 5 in blank. Okay. You're going to do all of those. The reason we have our colors, since we're focusing on the 5, we want that 5 to be highlighted in a certain color, whichever color it was. So all of my 5s will get to be this color because those are the numbers that I'm focusing on. And then the other numbers could be any other color. So I'm going to go the 5, and I'm going to color in that 5 as well. And I would color in the 5s on all of these. This notebook will be up on the whiteboard, so you can grab it and use it as you need to. The rest of these will have the rest of the sentence in there. I will finish that, but they won't have the answers. It won't have the A and the B. It will have the 5 in blank is 10 times larger than in blank. It will have that sentence in here. But you'll be able to grab this and use it as you need to. All right. Enjoy.